Hi YouTube, thank you for watching this late video over another. Subscribe to my channel. This video is episode 6 and episode 7. I'm giving the disgraced noble lady I rescued a crash course in Naughtiness episode 6. Alan and Charlotte are at the zoo. The zoo has a combination of mythical creatures and normal animals. Charlotte wants to go to the petting zoo. Alan says if it is what she desires, they can act like children. Alan tells Charlotte whatever she wants he will buy. Charlotte says she cannot do that. Alan puts a death curse on himself, and this forces Charlotte to buy 2 cat's ears. One for her and one for him. At the petting zoo, Alan sees a sign for a capybaras. Those magical beasts can eat a whole mountain. A worker tells him he has nothing to worry about. Charlotte cries in joy over the petting zoo. Alan can see how much this means to her. Alan approaches bunnies and tells them he will buy them whatever food they want if they play with Charlotte. They accept. For the carrots, they will do it. Bribery completed. For nothing. Charlotte on her own attracts all the animals. They love her. Even when sitting at a bench away from the animals, they still want to be near her. Alan translates what the animals are saying for the audience, and this is they are jealous. They do not want Alan to touch Charlotte, nor be near her. They want Charlotte to never leave them. Alan remembers when he first met Charlotte, there were animals surrounding her. Alan tells Charlotte there are different types of magic and skills. Alan can do non-verbal incantations, which is a high-level skill. Alan tells Charlotte she has a natural skill of magical creature tamer. The worker who talked to Alan about capybaras approaches them and says she needs their help. They need help from a magical creature tamer, which she thinks they are, and she thinks correctly. Alan and Charlotte are brought to a building. The old man in charge recognizes Alan. He knows Alan from the open lecture at Athena Magical Academy Alan did. He is relieved Alan is the one at the zoo that is going to be helping them. Alan and Charlotte are shown why they are here. A fenry is badly injured. The zoo found the injured fenrir and it is too wild to let them heal the animal. Alan cannot calm them down. The mother fenry is approaching the zoo. The mother wants her cub back. They cannot return the cub because they need to be healed. Alan says he will have to face the mother alone. It is what he does anyways. He tells the shocked room to evacuate the zoo. Charlotte wants to help. Alan says it is too dangerous to let her practice taming on a wild cub. Charlotte really wants to help, like she knows she can do it. Alan then agrees. Erica and the delivery woman are at the zoo enjoying the pool. An announcement is made to leave the area. Alan appears behind them. He says he knows they have been following him and Charlotte. Right now, he does not care because they can and will be helping him with the fenries. Alan sees the fenris running towards the zoo. He puts a protection barrier over the zoo. He freezes in place the fenris. He wants to give Charlotte time to calm the cub down so they can be healed. The mother arrives. The mother and Alan fight. As they are fighting, a capybaras appears. Capybaras tells Alan if he hurts the fenris, the cub will not be reunited with their mother. The capybara says his name is Gosetsu. Gosetsu says his goal is to save Charlotte from Alan. Gogetsu ran away from the zoo. He ended up in the forest Charlotte passed out in. He wanted to be with Charlotte, but that is when Alan stole her away from him. Wow, the animals are really obsessed with Charlotte. Alan says he gets it now. Gogetsu is just jealous of him. Alan and Gosetsu fight. Gosetsu will take out Alan and then defeat the Nerzu kingdom for what they did to Charlotte. Gosetsu has told the fenris Alan was the one to kidnap the cub, a lie, so the fenris would help him. Gosetsu melts the ice surrounding the fenris. Alan is in trouble. To his rescue is Charlotte. Charlotte was able to calm down the cub fenry and after they were healed, came to Alan. The zoo creatures did not want Charlotte to go alone, so they followed her. Charlotte can understand a basic concept of what the creatures are saying. It took Alan half a year to master elementary magical creature language. It took Charlotte like 2 minutes. He is a little impressed, and I think he's also a little jealous it took him more time than Charlotte. The cub tells the mother everything. The fenris now know the truth, and they are not happy with Gosetsu. Gosetsu tells Charlotte to leave Alan for him. Gosetsu can take better care of her and will destroy the Nezu kingdom for her. Alan says she is not going anywhere. They fight again. As they fight, Gosetsu says he will teach Charlotte to be evil. Alan says he's the only one allowed to teach Charlotte naughty things. Alan defeats Gosetsu. When Alan punches Gosetsu to the ground, he becomes nice and says if Gozetsu is alright, and Alan even heals him. Back at the hotel, the staff members say she heard they saved a fenry. Alan says it was all thanks to Charlotte. He did a little bit, but he is basically like, Charlotte gets thanks too, she's amazing. They are done their vacation, and when they are ready to leave, the fenrys appear. They are here to say goodbye. Erika and Mayachi caught the poachers that hurt the cub. They say they were so close on being rich. This makes Alan and the fenrys mad. Alan raises the defense level of the poachers so the fenrys can have a safe toy to play with. This is how episode 6 ends. This was a good episode on Charlotte might be having more of a role maybe, since she can tame mythical creatures. Or this brings Alan and Charlotte closer to becoming a couple. We will probably get that answer in episode 12. For now, we will still be learning about the daily naughty adventures our characters have. Now on to the next episode. I'm giving the disgraced noble lady I rescued a crash course in naughtiness. Episode 7. Alan and Charlotte are at the carriage to take them home. The fenrys will miss Charlotte. The cub fenry wants to come with them. They only live 1 hour away from this location, so it is not an issue. Alan allows it because it will make his family grow. His family of Charlotte and cub fenry. He doesn't understand why the girls blush over this. He just called Charlotte his family, and that is why they are blushing. Gozetsu will also be joining them. He will protect Charlotte as an apology for the trouble he caused. This is just an excuse. He doesn't care. He just wants to be with Charlotte. Alan now will have a cub fenry and Gozetsu living with him. The cub fenry is named Lou. Lou and Charlotte are close. Because of this, Alan hasn't done anything naughty with Charlotte. Alan is sad he has less time with her. Charlotte wants to become a proper magical creature tamer. Alan has been teaching Charlotte about it. Charlotte can do magic, or the magic is how she communicates on what the creatures can do. Charlotte has Lou do an obstacle course. Charlotte rewards Lou, and Lou is not a fan of Alan. Lou is overprotected by Charlotte. Gozetsu tells Charlotte about beast magic. This allows creatures to learn human language. They ask Gozetsu how he can talk. He says he is self-taught by living alone. He's very proud of it. Charlotte tries to have Lou speak with beast conversation. Lou tells Alan to not touch her. It worked, but Lou, like Gozetsu, will be bad-mouthing Alan for being near Charlotte or just having anything to do with Charlotte. Alan will not let Lou hold him back. Alan creates with his magic an outdoor bath pool. This is to celebrate Charlotte being able to talk to Lou. Charlotte is happy with it all. Lou has mixed feelings because Lou doesn't like Alan, but is happy with this gift. Alan says this bath pool was only for Lou and Charlotte, a human, not a capybaras. He says fine and turns himself into a woman. This shocks everyone because Gozetsu has a man's voice, but is actually a female maybe? We don't get an answer. It is asked though. Alan does ask, wait, are you a female? And we don't 100% know the answer. So Gozetsu is probably going to be a gender-bending character. Lou and Charlotte play in the water. Charlotte looks so cute. This makes Alan blush. Charlotte asks if he is feeling well because his face is red. Alan gives her a towel so she can get out and be with him. Charlotte and Alan can now talk without the animals interrupting. Charlotte thanks Alan for everything he has done for her. Alan says, of course he would do all those things. Alan tells Charlotte he made a lazy river, or he's going to, because he has a lot of open land. Alan tells Charlotte there was someone who lived here before he did. Alan says they disappeared. An elf lived here. They would always work as if possessed. They never went to town. One day, the elf disappeared. Some say the elf jumped off a cliff. Others say the elf was eaten. Or another story is the elf's body was taken over by mushrooms and still wanders around. Charlotte is scared because mushrooms have appeared in the water. Gozetsu looks dead, but they are alive. The mushrooms are coming into the waterfall somehow. A woman pops up from the ground and says they are stealing all her mushrooms. Underground is where she lives. She didn't mean for them to be scared. Her name is Dorothea. She has been living underground for a while, though Alan has never felt her presence. He wonders why. Dorothea asks who they are. Alan says he is the one who lives in the mansion above ground where she lives. Dorothea says that mansion is hers. She does have pointy ears, so she could be the elf that used to live here, and she actually is. She is the elf that disappeared 30 years ago. She comes above ground, is intrigued with the wide variety living at her mansion. She is a dark elf. A dark elf is like a mythical creature. A dark elf can survive 100 years without eating or drinking just on their magic mana. Alan wants to know what made her go underground, almost hiding 30 years ago. He wonders what will happen now with the ownership rights to the mansion. Alan does not want to lose the mansion. Alan asks if he can buy the mansion. Dorothea says he can have it. She likes living underground in the basement. Dorothea says she doesn't need money. Instead, she needs help with her predicament. They will all help her. Dorothea says she only needs help from Alan and Charlotte. At night, Dorothea tells them she used to be an author. One day, she tried to write a romance novel, but was struggling with the story. The deadline was up, so she hid underground. She is 30 years behind on her deadline. Alan will only help so he can get the mansion, but doesn't want to help her because being 30 years behind, she clearly sucks as an author. She wants Alan and Charlotte to help her write her romance novel by them being a couple. This will help Dorothea by watching them. Episode 7 is over. I love it. Alan and Charlotte are not a couple, but in episode 8, they're gonna have to act as one. They will be embarrassed in scenes while also talking to themselves in their mind on how much they care for the other person. Nothing was really naughty in this episode 7 besides possibly this bath pool. Episode 6 was the naughty zoo. This is a light comedy, slow burn anime, and I'm here all the way. If you enjoyed this video, go check out my other videos. Remember to subscribe to my channel.